It is never easy when the season comes to an end. This Walleye team put in so much work, and they turned in one heck of an effort with their season on the line. But it's Trois-Rivieres that is the 2025 ECHL champion. There are so many great memories that will come from this Walleye season, but it is very difficult to reflect when it all comes to an end here in the Kelly Cup Finals. Right, so I know it stings right now. How difficult is it though when it all comes to an end?
You know, it happens so fast. You know, like this whole season goes by quick, and then you get to the end, and you don't really have the words to explain, you know, how proud of that group you are. You just want to say thank you today. We'll have the next few days to really reflect and probably have more laughs than sad memories or disappointments, and when we can all sit back and reflect on everything we did accomplish.
I know how bad you guys want to do this thing. I have watched it day in and day out for 8 months. When you have to walk into that locker room and deliver that final message, though, how difficult is that to see those guys that way?
It's devastating. You know, it's everything that they aim for is to raise that cup, and it's a lot of pressure. They take pride in that. They love the fact that we have the opportunity to do it every year, and you need so many things to go your way along the way, and so the devastation is there today, but you know, we will need to talk about all the things we did well also.
The nature of this league is that there's obviously going to be changes. This is the last time this group will ever be together this way. What memories will you take away from having this group?
You know, how hard they worked, how much fun they had at the same time. They love being at the rink. We got a great leadership core that, you know, sets the example day in and day out. So you just, you know, you're going to move on from some guys, but at the same time, if they get that opportunity to go and play at a different level and gain a great experience, I'm happy as heck for them.
Sucks. I wouldn't want to go to battle with anybody else. I love each and every one of those guys in that locker room, and just cut them short.
What will you remember most about this group that you guys put together here?
So special as everybody was willing to battle through injuries and do whatever they could to get to the end. And I mean, a little selfish on my part, I got to play with my best friend. First time we got to do that in 10 years. Just sucks altogether. You hate losing like that. You hate battling through what we battled through to get to this point to lose in June, and sadly, everyone's going to look at it as a failure, but I don't think it's that way. I'm proud of each one of those guys, no matter what we did.
When you look back on it, will there be some moments where you realize how special of a year this was?
Yeah, 100%. They're brothers for life. It's the sad part about the coast is you really only get to play with each guy 1 year, maybe. And then it's everybody disbands and goes their own way, and sadly, that's the coast.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you never, even though we're playing in June, you never really look for the end. You want to play forever, especially with the group like we had, so close-knit, so unselfish, just a brotherhood in that room. And, you know, for it to end, it would have been sad if we won, but to end, you know, on the losing side sucks. But that's a heck of a room. That's a heck of a group of guys, special group. Have been awesome, you know, welcoming me back into Toledo, and just have been there for me every step of the way, and I absolutely enjoyed every second of playing here this year.
What kind of memories will you take away from this group being together this year?
I think just the resiliency, but personally, you know, I went through a lot away from the rink, and these guys had my back from the second everything went down until the end. And, you know, it's a group I'll never forget because, you know, when it's hard, you don't know where to turn. These guys had me, and you know that's normally the role I like to be in. But when you know life gets hard, these guys they had me, and they brought me along and welcomed me in, and just always looked out for me. And like I said, it's a group I'll never forget, just because of what they did for me. Just the non-hockey stuff for me is what made it so special. Just a great first-class group of guys and staff and everybody really.
I know how much Toledo has meant to you. Skating off that ice today, how difficult was that for you personally? Just kind of knowing everything that Toledo has meant to you, and you made the choice to come back here.
Yeah, you know, the first thing is this is a familiar feeling for me. Unfortunately, it's happened to me in 2018-19, and it sucked, and it ate at me for a long time. And then to go through it again sucks, but you know, I'm older now, and I can be proud about a lot of things, and unfortunately, only one team's going to win it. It wasn't us, but there's a lot to be proud of. For me, representing Toledo on the highest stage and being a part of it and being back in the community, being around the fans and just the unwavering love and support that they've shown me as well, just away from the rink, is special. And I knew it, I knew that, but I really felt that this year. I can't even really put it into words what their support has meant to me this season, because like I said, it was a hard season away from the rink, and the fans were all-time first class with me, and I can't thank them enough.
There will be plenty of time for reflection, and of course next season will come very quickly, but first we will get a chance to celebrate. Make sure you stay on our Toledo Walleye social media channels for an announcement about a fan event coming up here to end the season. That is going to do it for us in Trois-Rivieres. Make sure you stay on ToledoWalleye.com.